Cat Kanavos show on New Earth Television.
Welcome to the Cat Kanavos Show, everyone. I am your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Kat. I am the author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, Early Warning Signs of Cancer and Other Diseases, written with Duke University radiologist, Dr. Larry Burke. We have a great guest for you tonight. His name is Renato Rampolla. And Renato is the son of a figurative artist, and we're going to ask him what that is. And he's been taking photographs since he was a child. At an early age, he learned the basics of composition, photography, and sculpturing from his father. And then he went on to study art further while in college. He is also an author and has a book that has all of his incredible photography in it. This is something Renato said: "My pictures are concerned with fundamental aspects of humanity: loneliness, a search for an all-consuming faith, mortality, love, dignity, despair, and joy are the stories I attempt to show in a way that pleases the formal aspects of light and composition." Welcome to the show, Renato Rampolla.
Thank you very much, Kat. I'm very happy to be here.
You are a very, very busy artist. I've been following you before you came onto my show, so I would know a little bit about you. And you've won awards, and you were just speaking at a convention. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I spoke at, I'm donating all my proceeds to a book, from the book for Blankets, Tampa Bay. And I spoke at a fundraiser for them. And we raised a little bit of money, and I brought a couple prints there and donated some. So it worked out really nice, but a lot of people don't know what we do. And I'm going to take one of these out so I can hear better. But a lot of people don't know all the things that Blankets Tampa Bay does. And they give clothes and blankets out every Monday night. It's just a local charity, very small charity, but that's where I could do the most good, by having all the proceeds of the book go toward them.
That is just so very big of you to do that. I don't know many people who would take all the proceeds from their book and give it to an organization who is blanketing the homeless in Tampa Bay. Now, you and I both are writers for Biz Catalyst 360, so I kind of found out about you through Dennis Pitoko, who is the CEO of Biz Catalyst 360 magazine, and he had such wonderful things to say about you and your work.
Oh, well, he's doing a lot of good things here in the Tampa Bay area.
So the first question I just have to ask you is, you are the son of a figurative artist. What does that mean?
He's actually a figurative expressionist. And what that is, there's a school of expressionism that was popular in the 60s and 70s. It has its basis of the figure, but it's not literally the figure. It's the figure, but distorted and expressed. Kind of Picasso did some of that. A lot of different expressionists were popular in New York. He came out of that New York scene. And he's actually in the Smithsonian. He has work in the Smithsonian. He's in the Whitney and several museums, and local museums here as well, the Ringling Museum and Leeper Ratner Museum. So, yeah, but he died in 1971. So I have his artwork, and I've curated it from this point on. And now I've started doing my own thing.
It must be kind of nice to have your dad's artwork with you, because it has a bit of his soul in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, the really cool thing is we're both doing a show at the same museum, the Fine Art Museum in DeLand, at the Museum of Fine Art Museum of Art in DeLand, and I believe mine is in August and his is in November. So it's really cool. And I'm actually showing with another photographer named George Harrell, he's photographed, I don't know, Sharon Stone, Clark Gable. I mean, he's actually from the 30s and 40s, very famous LA photographer, all the Hollywood glamour, you name anybody in Hollywood, and he's photographed it. And he passed away some years ago. But we're going to have all these glamour shots in one gallery, and then we're going to have my shots of the homeless in another gallery. So the juxtaposition of the glamour and the poverty, I think is a kind of a cool angle for a show, so they can see the common thread of humanity. We're all people.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. And those shows are going to be full of spirits from the other side going, that's my work. That's my work right there.
You know, it wasn't really my idea,
son.
but I love the idea. You know, it was the museum's idea to come up with that. But I think it was a great idea on their part.
Great idea. Now, the name of your book, if I have it correctly, because I have all your information here, is Dignity No Matter What, The Light Within. Is that your book? Yes.
That's the book. Correct.
And do you happen to have your book with you? Can you hold it up?
I sure can. Give me 1 second.
Okay. And while he runs back over there to get his book, I want you to see his photography is done in black and white, and it's amazing. I love black and white photography.
Sorry.
There it is. Dignity, no matter what, which I think is so important. And it talks about the light within, because the photography work you do captures the light within everyone. Is that right? Yeah,
it really is a search for showing, I don't take pictures of people candidly, not for this project. I go when I talk with them for a while, and I kind of just say, hey, would you want a bottle of water? I have a bottle of water with me. And we sit and talk and say,
are these the homeless that you're doing this? Oh my goodness.
If they're on the sidewalk, for instance, and they're panhandling, instead of giving them money, I just sit down next to them. And that totally changed their state. Like, what are you doing? You know, that's like, well, I just kind of, I was tired. I got extra water. You want one? And all of a sudden we start talking like we're friends or acquaintances. And as they often have said to me is, you treat me like a normal person. Well, you are a normal person. You just decide to live there's many reasons why you're living outdoors. Some is they decide to do that. Some they have addiction problems. Some are have mental disorders, but you're still a human being. And that's the point of my book, is we have a common thread where it's all common element of humanity.
But you have a special gift, because you're able to actually capture the essence of their humanity in your black and white photography. Is all of your work done in black and white photography?
No, I have some in color too, as well. And what I've noticed is it's not me, it's them, because their guard gets down after we talk a while. And there's a certain amount of trust, because, you know, when I take a picture, I use a very small lens. So the lens is literally within 10 or 11 inches from their nose. It's that close.
That's kind of intimidating.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think I could do it, but that just shows a lot of the mental fortitude that a lot of these people do have. But there's an amount of trust that has to be done. You can't just stick a lens in somebody's face like a paparazzi and take a picture. You know, you have to talk to them a while. And I've had people say, you know, you've asked me questions about myself, why I'm here. You even asked me my name. No one asked me that. No one sits down next to me and treats me like a human being. Usually they'll give me $1, $2, and, you know, just basically they're paying me to go away, and they feel good that they gave me some money. But you're sitting down and getting my story, at least asking my story. And if I decide to tell you, I tell you. If not, you know, you don't. But at least you're inquiring about it, and that's kind of the response I get.
You're engaging with them, and to them, that's amazing, because so many people probably just step over them. So you're known as a street Photographer. Is that an actual name, or is that a name you gave yourself?
It's a name photographers call themselves when they take pictures of people on the street. That's basically it. Some people like the term, some don't. I don't care. If you go to my website, RenatoRampolla.com, you'll see I have two series. One is called Dignity, and the other is called Life in the Present Tense. And that's what a lot of people call street photography, where I take different pictures and juxtapositions and just things that I see as I wander through life that I think are worth taking a picture of. That's what's in there.
Now, for those of you watching us live right now, I have Renato Rampolla's website on the Facebook page, but I'm going to spell his name for you. It's Renato Rampolla. Rampolla, and your website is RenatoRampolla.com. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's perfect.
Okay. And how can we find your book? Is your book on your website?
It's on the website as well. I didn't put it on Amazon. We've sold about 250 copies so far, and I haven't put it on Amazon because I want all the proceeds, all the net proceeds, and now I've paid everything off, so all the proceeds are going to this charity.
Oh,
so
that's
100% of the 100% of the cost goes to the charity.
Okay, so our audience that's watching right now, if they want your book, they have to go to your website to get it. Is that correct?
Well, there's two museums here in Tampa that have it. And one in St. Pete, the St. Pete Museum of Fine Arts sells it, and also the Florida Museum of Photographic Photography. Florida Museum of Photography has it, but by mail, it's just through the website.
Well, Renato, it's been such a pleasure interviewing you. I'm going to give you the last word to our audience. What would you like to say to them?
Well, I'll say pretty much the first words of my book is, "There, but for the grace of God, go I." When you look at someone like that, it's so easy to say, this guy should do this or this guy should do that. You just don't know his story or her story. So just not be as judgmental and just try to be more empathetic. That's all.
Mm-hmm. You know, I just before you came on this show, I had Jim Phillips on, and he was talking about the key to life and wisdom. And, you know, we are all born into this world to figure out our own wisdom and our own keys to life. And they're all different because the road to wisdom is different for every single person. And we all travel it differently. But what's so amazing about what you do is you're actually able to capture some of that wisdom in your photographs, because I can see it in their eyes. When you're taking a picture of them, when you're photographing them, I see something deeper in their eyes than just the question mark, why are you taking this picture of me? There's like a whole story behind those eyes.
You're right. The eyes are the window to the soul.
Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I want to thank you, our audience, for being with us. And Rachel, our producer, and Renato Rampolla. I hope I see you down in Tampa Bay because I plan to be down there with my husband, and I'd love to come and see your work.
That sounds good. Maybe I'll introduce you to some of my friends.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. So until next week, next Tuesday, remember, everybody dreams, but some dreams save lives. Make sure you go to my website, KathleenO'KeefeCanvas.com or thequeenofdreams.com, and sign up for my newsletter, where I will have this show with Renato actually blogged and written up as an article for Biz Catalyst 360 magazine. So until next week, everybody, have a great weekend.